I can.
Oh my God, we're live! Did I do it? Am I doing this right? Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. I think we're doing it. Let me just check a few things, and we are.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is part of my new habits. I'm sorry, New Year, New Habits series. And I wanted to bring in someone that knows about mindfulness. I talk a lot about it as a behaviorist. I worked a lot on it. I still do. But I wanted to bring an expert, and I wish I could change her name on here, but I don't, and I won't be able to. So this is Kasia Olszko, and she is the founder of Mindful Workshops, and she is a mindfulness coach. And we're just going to start out by first telling us a very simple, for us that don't know, what is mindfulness?
Oh, hello, Lizette. Thank you for a lovely introduction. Um, it's not so easy to say in one word what's mindfulness, and it's like it depends what you want to get out of it. But I think in general, it's a way of paying attention and absorbing information. So it's a mental
Okay.
skill in a way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people think it's very spiritual or it needs to be connected to yoga practice, and it doesn't. It is a mental skill, a type of awareness, the way we pay attention to the world. And it means that it's a focused attention, that it's a non-judgmental attention, and that it's a very open way of engaging with the world.
I love that.
Yeah?
Non-judgmental. That's true. Non-judgmental, paying attention, being aware, and basically that's how we interact with the world. That's okay. I like that. I like that. Now, you know that this week was about stopping the junk food habit.
Yeah.
And I want to know what you can give people when it comes to mindful eating. So what should they, I mean, I kind of talked about it, but I used it as if the trigger comes in, they do a stop and then they ask themselves questions. Is this what you would consider the starting of mindful eating, or what do you do for mindful eating?
Yeah. Yeah, I really resonate with what you were talking about in your series, because it's basically what it is. It's becoming more aware of what we eat, why we eat it, where does this food come from. But I think even before that, because I think it might be a bit overwhelming for people. Oh my gosh, I need to stop and start thinking every time I eat. I would say that the first thing you can do is slow down. So basically start eating slower. Don't eat over your laptop. Don't eat while you're walking. Because a lot of people, you grab a sandwich and you eat and walking to the tube or something.
Right.
So really slow down. And when you're eating, usually when you eat slowly, so when you're fully present with your food, you pay more attention to what you're eating. You start noticing what's on your plate. But then again, you don't feel so hungry because you eat slower. And usually before our brain sends the message to our body that we're full, it takes, I think, like 20 minutes. So if you eat slower, you give your brain time to really understand, okay, I'm actually full now. I don't need any more. Where if we're eating fast or we're not thinking about food because we're on our laptop while we're eating, then it's kind of like it's not really eating.
So can you say, I mean, because a lot of people do work at their desks. So
Yeah.
even if they are working at their desk, I mean, what can you say about that? What tip can you give them for them to be a little bit more mindful when it comes to eating at their desk?
Close your computer. Just, close the computer so you can still be at your desk. But I think if you close your computer and you just focus on this food for 5 minutes, it's very different. Or a lot of co-working spaces will have a kitchen area or, offices. So maybe if you can't leave the office, you bring your food to the office, but maybe you can go to the different area of your office to eat. So it's actually a break as well from your workday. Because
Now,
often,
how about,
yeah, sorry.
no, I am sorry. Go ahead.
No, because I used to do it myself, but then it's like you also don't have a break in your day. So eating your
Yeah.
lunch during the day, it's also a way that you can break up your workday, yeah?
So how about music? So maybe at your desk, you shut it down, but maybe you have some music in the background. Is that also distracting? or should we just be quiet completely and just focus on the food?
I think it depends, we're all very different, yeah? So what's distracting for one person won't be distracting for the other person, yeah? I don't mean don't be distracted and just like look at your food. But when I think it's like multitasking, yeah? When we eating while we're checking Facebook or Instagram, our attention is divided. But for a lot of people, like, when you listen to music, your attention is not going to the music. It's just like a nice background thing. So, I guess it's personal.
So basically pay attention to your food, chew slowly, eat slowly.
Yeah, eat slowly and also appreciate your food. I think there's this exercise when you look at the food that you eat and you just try to think where it's coming from. Like how many people had to work for this food to be on your plate? Like someone had to grow it, someone had to package it, someone had to send it, someone had to prepare it, then it went to the supermarket. So the moment you start realizing this journey, you go, wow, this is actually quite special, yeah? But we just get used to picking up food, eating it, and then just going on with the day. So we lost this appreciation for food as well, I think. And it's the same with McDonald's, you start paying attention to a plate full of McDonald's and really start looking at what's in there and thinking where it's coming from. Then you get a different type of attention that you're paying to that plate than just going, oh, I know it's bad for me, but I'm just going to eat it. It's like we're in denial.
I almost think that, some people don't know where McDonald's comes from. So I guess finding a video online to know where McDonald's foods come from or your favorite fast food products.
That's the thing. We don't know where it comes from, but that's the worrying part. Yeah. Does it grow? Does it is it in the, you don't even know what this is
from the planet. Yeah,
exactly.
Good. And what are your tips to help an entire family? I know a lot of people that have children and their families, and the more people you have in your family, it's more personalities, a lot of things are going on, and maybe a family wants to start a mindfulness journey of paying attention of where their food comes from or slow down. What can you do? As a tip, what can you give for people that have families or they want to start this with their significant other or whatever during their mealtime at home?
Yeah. I think I would start with cooking together. So a lot of the kids, they're not engaged in preparing food. And I think, if you have, of course, we can't do it every day. We're all really busy, but on weekends, you could totally do, a pizza day where the whole family is picking, what do we want our pizza? We're making the dough at home, we're buying the ingredients, kids can make it. So there's lots of food that's fun as well for kids. And then if the whole family does it, it's a bit of talking about food and really picking what it is that I like, because we all like different things. And it's hard to force, healthy meals on a family of 5 because everyone's got different preferences. But this is a fun way. And then you sit and you eat together. So I would really start with preparing and eating 1 meal per week as a family and really eating it, and no devices at the table, just really, us talking and food.
Don't devices on the table. I like that. Because, devices are so distracting. And even if you have them on the table, some people always want to, reach over to grab it. And I like the pizza idea. That's a very good idea to teach everyone. Let's make our own pizzas. Let's pick where, the list of things that you got to go get at a grocery store and do your pizza. I think that's a great idea.
And the same, for smoothies, that's a really easy one as well.
Ooh, that's
because kids love it. You can chop stuff, vegetables, fruit, put it in, then they can blend it. So it's a fun thing to do as well. And everyone gets to pick. I think the fact that you pick what you want to eat is also important. So you have a choice. It's not forced on you, this healthy routine now.
I like that. And any other tips that you can give us if we want to start being more mindful with food? Just in general, if you can think, you gave us some really good tips about, putting the devices away, being more aware.
Just in general,
rather than family. Yeah, just in general about food, because you've talked a lot about the relationship we have with food, where it comes from, what's it on the table, being appreciated, slowing down. But anything else you want to add? Because a lot of people have a bad snacking habit. You know, I mean, I've been guilty of the Haribos, the bag of chips, chocolate. I mean, I like junk food. and I've been able to break some of those, but you know, those are our default habits. And so, I mean, some people are just constant snackers on junk. Any tip on this?
I mean, it's nothing wrong with being a constant snacker. And, you know, there's lots of health and wellness coaches that can talk about that it's actually better to eat less and often. So the idea, I think, is also letting go of this preconceptions of what's good and what's bad. Yeah. This snacking is bad. It's not bad. It just depends what you snack on. And generally with mindfulness, it's all about not going to any extreme. So it's just like really being non-judgmental with yourself. So not judging yourself, you know, I see this kind of guilt trip thing going. You stuff yourself with something junk and then you immediately feel guilty. And then you go, oh my God, I did it already, so I might as well do it again. So with mindfulness, it's really observing yourself, but not judging yourself. It's really just noticing, why am I eating this? Maybe there's something, it's what you talked about before. Maybe there's an underlying reason why I want to eat this food. Yeah. But really like being accepting of yourself and not thinking like, okay, from tomorrow, I'm going to eat healthy. Yeah. It's a slow process of just making that decision that I'm going to start paying attention to what I eat. Maybe I'm going to read the label. The moment you start reading labels on food, you start realizing what goes in there. And then when you think that what's on this label goes directly into your system, all these chemicals and stuff that's in there, and you start engaging with this, okay, this is what I'm feeding my body, and this is the only body I'm going to have for the rest of my life. And, you know, do I want to live longer? Well, I would like to, probably see my kids, maybe grandparents, go travel. And if once you notice this direct connection, it might not be so difficult to reduce some of the things.
I like that. Thanks, Kasia. Now, very general speaking, someone has no idea about mindfulness. Okay, so maybe they have a 10% knowledge of what mindfulness is because they tuned in here and they're kind of getting into it. They're reading about it online. But someone that wants to say, hey, I want to start being more mindful and I want to start this mindful journey. Any top tips that you can give someone, or where can they start? Where can they start this mindfulness journey?
Yeah. Again, it depends what it is that you might be struggling with, or what's your challenge and what is it that you're looking for. If you're looking for being less stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, I would definitely start with trying a meditation. I have a meditation on my website that you can sign up for. It's a 3-minute meditation, so it's really short. So if anyone thinks that you need to meditate for 15 or 20 or half an hour, you don't. 3 minutes is enough. If it's just slowing down and being more present in your life, I would suggest just go to the beach, go to the forest, go to the park, go anywhere where there is nature and when you can just sit for 10 minutes and chill. But really work it into your routine. Or if there is something that you really, really love doing, where when you're doing it, you're not thinking about future, when you're not thinking about your to-do list because you love the activity, do more of that. So you don't need, you know, any special tools to practice this. If you want to really change your life and shift your perception, then it's good to work with a mindfulness coach because it happens a lot quicker, and it's tailored to your needs. So then working with a coach could be very helpful.
Good. I like your 3-minute starting meditation because I know I used to try to do at least 15 and that was so hard.
Yeah.
So difficult. And I know 3 minutes is an easy in. And you said that's on your website, yes?
Yes, it's on my website.
Give us your website so I can put it up.
MindfulWorkshop.com. And there is a sign-up box and you can leave your details and then you'll get the meditation over to you. There's also a contact page and I offer free discovery sessions. So anyone who wants to find out a bit more or learn what they could do, I'm here and I'm happy to get on the call.
Cool. Well, there you go, folks. You want to start your mindfulness journey. It only takes 3 minutes a day. That's easy.
No, but it really does. Yeah, it really does.
3 minutes a day. And also touching nature. This is something that I also always say. That's also nice to touch nature. I know it's super hard, especially now with the technology. You sit behind your desk all day and you don't get to go outside and you see pictures of flowers. But I think it's definitely worth venturing out so you can start doing your mindfulness practice, as Kasia has told us. Kasia, thank you so much for coming on and teaching us more about mindfulness eating and also the stuff that you offer. 3-minute meditation sounds amazing and super easy. And I actually, can we put that on my website too? Kasia, can you send me that info? You can find it on my website, all the links to Kasia. And I know you can review this video. If you have any questions, you can post them down below. We'll be sure to answer them. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Kasia.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye. We'll see you on Monday.